Well, you probably heard by now the unfortunate news. AT&T's DirecTV has dropped Newsmax from its lineup. Former President Trump was apparently surprised by the move. Wednesday night, he condemned it as censorship, saying this: "Wow, AT&T DirecTV removes Newsmax from its channel lineup. This disgusting move comes after deplatforming OAN last year. The radical left seems to have taken over the mind and soul of AT&T. It's a big blow to the Republican Party and to America itself. For DirecTV to drop very popular Newsmax without explanation will not be accepted." He's going to be dropping all association with AT&T and DirecTV. He's got plenty. It's just one of the reasons why we must win in 2024. That, according to Donald Trump.
Bill Donohue is the president of the Catholic League. He joins us live. Brian Andersson is the former New York City Commissioner of Records. He joins us live. I'll start with Bill. I know you wrote a column on Newsmax today. You're saying this: Catholics should drop DirecTV. Talk to me about this. To your surprise, maybe not surprise, when Newsmax went dark on DirecTV.
Well, I was surprised. Newsmax is the fourth largest show on cable television. It's got a wonderful audience. It's been very fair to Christians, Catholics in particular. And this is all politically motivated. We know this because there are Congresswoman Eshoo out in California and others have been pushing for congressional oversight. They've been working with some of the big tech companies and the like. And it basically, we come down to the cancel culture again. And it's always on their side, the left, that seeks to silence the people of a conservative voice. We don't see any examples on college campuses or big tech or anybody else of trying to silence those people with a more left-wing perspective. It's always coming from the ones who like to tout themselves as the proponents of inclusion and diversity and tolerance. They are intolerant. They don't believe in the diversity of Newsmax, and they certainly don't believe in including Newsmax. DirecTV is a disgrace. I am hoping that with the pushback that they're getting, I wrote to the CEO this morning, to Bill Morrow, asking him to reconsider. And if he does, we will disseminate their decision to reconsider and let all the Catholics know whom we contacted yesterday, and that's quite a few, of the decision to reconsider. So hopefully the more sober heads will prevail.
Yeah, just wanted to point out one of Newsmax's recent coverage included the annual March for Life in Washington, D.C. You don't see a lot of mainstream media news coverage of that, and yet there are thousands of people that flock to the nation's capital year after year to march for the unborn. Newsmax was there covering it. Senator Tom Cotton weighing in on social media about this blackout from DirecTV. He said this: "Dropping Newsmax is a mistake. I'm grateful for Wesley Hunt working to reverse this." Again, that's a Congress member who's also seeking additional information. Brian Andersson here with us now. Brian, we often cover the crime issues in our nation's cities, and that doesn't always get mainstream media attention either.
Well, precisely correct. And Bill is spot on about all of this. I said, I think the March for Life in Washington, I think they covered the vice president's speech, certainly. And they won't cover the March for Life. But we have to get as militant as Bill says. We've got to call these people. We've got to call the CEOs. We should have a list of people that we should be calling, especially these two congresspeople in California, where else, Eshoo and McInerney, who put these questions to the AT&T chairman as to that they shouldn't be carrying these conservative stations, OAN and Newsmax, and Fox for that matter. So they just want to eliminate all discussion coming from right of center.
Bill Donohue, I'll go to you, back to you on this. Now, going through how this is being written up in other media articles, they talk about it's because of carriage fees. That's why. It's not because of censorship. Bill, is that a scapegoat, or is it really about the carriage fees? Your thoughts on that?
Of course it's a scapegoat, and the reason is, as I mentioned before, when you have Democrat congresswomen and congressmen asking for oversight, and there's too much, quote, misinformation. Now, all of a sudden, the state is going to become the arbiter of truth? Please, give me a break. No, we know, and this is where the First Amendment kicks in, because now you have a nexus between government. And when the government gets involved in censorship, that's a violation of the First Amendment. They're one step away from it. You see, they're very cute the way they handle it. No, there's a concerted effort on some people who are part of the ruling class in government, in the tech industry, and here we see in the corporate world. So our side has to push back with strength, always nonviolently. That's the only way we deal with things. But our voice has to be heard, because if they can shut down Newsmax, they can shut down anybody.
Yeah, and you really cannot silence half of this country. This is a diverse country. There are diverse viewpoints, and people are looking, Brian, for outlets that provide different coverage, by the way. You're not going to see these mainstream outlets at the U.S. southern border. Newsmax is there bringing our viewers the very latest.
Exactly right. And, give people the information, and we're smart enough to make up our own minds when it comes to issues like this.
I appreciate that. Bill Donohue joining us live. As always, thank you, Bill. Brian Andersson, thank you.
Thank you, guys.